Right, so what is up guys, SDPeasy here and welcome back to another episode of Lampard's Lounge. Obviously this one's a slightly disappointing one as we did manage to get knocked out of the Carabao Cup quarter-final 2 of all people, Manchester United. Very frustrating game as a Chelsea fan, very frustrating to watch, especially as I could have been watching the other channel and watched 5-all Liverpool-Arsenal. It's just a frustrating one. I can't really explain it. It just got to me and bugged me. But let's get into the teams and see what I thought of both squads. So starting with Chelsea, I actually was not expecting this team at all. I was really happy when I saw this team sheet, like buzzing. I literally said to one of my mates, I bet $1 million that Willian starts, that Hudson-Odoi and Pulisic would never play and start together. So I was really happy when I saw that. I was really happy that Lampard didn't just play loads of the old players like Pedro, Willian and just sort of ruin it and take all the young players out of the game. I'm glad that Gurhi played at centre-back. I thought he was fantastic. Genuinely, for what's there, I really liked the starting 11. And we had quite a good bench as well. But it just didn't seem to work out. Obviously, Batshuayi scored a pretty fantastic goal, to be honest. It was almost like Drogba, Diego Costa-like, the way he just bullied Harry Maguire, who was, in my opinion, really shit. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought was very poor. He just sort of bullied him, ran past him easily and smashed it bottom bins. It was a great goal, really. I was actually really surprised. But that's what Batshuayi is. He's a clinical sub. He's a clinical super sub. He's not a starting 11 player, which is kind of annoying, so I want him to be a starting player, but he's not. If you're going for a starting striker, it's Tammy or it's Giroud, and Batshuayi is a super sub. It's just when he's best. A whole game, he disappears, which is a shame, because he is so good when he comes on off the bench. And obviously the Man United team going for a 3-4-1-2. I actually quite liked their starting 11. I thought it was quite good. Obviously Chelsea going with some maybe not so experienced players, whereas Man United going with their full starting 11, because if they go much worse, I don't think they have many other players, literally. So yeah, I kind of understood why they went with this sort of team. Obviously Martial did well when he came off the bench. I thought, to be fair, McTominay, although I thought he was lucky not to be sent off, because he definitely at some point should have received a second yellow card. I've got to say, he was fantastic. He won the ball back constantly for United. He was brilliant. Probably one of the best players on the pitch, in my opinion. Literally just won every challenge. And just constantly winning the ball, spreading it about. I thought he was brilliant. I also thought Brandon Williams, their young fullback, was actually really good as well. He had a really good game. Sort of marshalled Hudson-Odoi out of it in the first half. Obviously, I know he got a lot better in the second half. And he was fantastic, really. But he still went missing, really. And obviously, Rashford scoring that Ronaldo-esque free kick. Can you really complain when you lose to that sort of goal? 35-yard knuckleball. It's absolutely swazzing about in the air. It's top bins. Can you really complain? I don't think so. I mean, it's just a fantastic goal. I mean, it's nice to see that he's finally got one in after his 50-odd attempts for England and Man United. But top bins, can you complain? It was just a fantastic effort. So on to my thoughts of the game. I thought the only real positive for Chelsea was our youth talents. And I don't mean Hudson-Odoi for a change. I thought he was really poor. I actually mean Billy Gilmour, Mark Gurhi and Reece James. Now, they were all fantastic. Gurhi was just solid at centre-back. And I really think he could be a promising player going forward. Obviously, I know we've got the likes of Tomori, Zuma and Rudiger, obviously, all ahead of him. And probably Christensen is ahead of him just based on experience. But he just looked fantastic. He looked like he was at home at centre-back, like Tomori did in his first few games. It's a really promising sign that we've got another young centre-back coming through. So I really liked him. He was fantastic. Obviously, Reece James, you know I love Reece James. He was brilliant all game. He absolutely bullied Rashford at points. And he's just fantastic. The way he just uses his body and his strength to win the ball back. And then he's a ball-playing player as well. He can run out with it and take it with him, take players on, play a pass. He's just nice to watch. And Billy Gilmour was easily Chelsea's best player. Easily. He was fantastic as a centre midfielder in the first half, and then ran into a cam during the second half. He was brilliant, man. Like, he really, really, really good. I'm really impressed with Billy Gilmour. Obviously, I expect a lot of things from him. Obviously, being a fantastic player in the Premier League too for Chelsea. So, yeah, a lot of promising youth talents. Sadly, that's where the positives end, because then we look at the negatives and the substitutes. They didn't affect the game at all. Mason Mount and Tammy Abraham were left too late. I know, obviously, they were brought on after it went to 2-1, but if they'd have been brought on maybe 1-1, it might have been different. But it was too late, really, in my opinion. You didn't give him a chance to have an impact. And Pedro was just Pedro, which is why I was glad he was on the starting team sheet, because he was awful. He's past it now. He's too old, bless him. It's not for me. Alonso, do I even need to say anymore? He gave the ball away in a silly mistake, and then what is his challenge for the penalty? Like, what is the point? He had him locked up, not going anywhere. He was literally going nowhere. Like, why leave a leg? What's the point? Like, it frustrated me, because fair enough, if it was last man and he had to make the tackle, I genuinely probably wouldn't have even been upset. It was the fact that he just didn't need to make the tackle. He was trying to recover for his error and made it worse, and it was like, oh, why have you done that? But obviously Emerson is apparently fit again, so hopefully we won't have to see too much more of Alonso in the near future. And I thought, just sadly, although I was so happy to see Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi start, they were both dreadful. Hudson-Odoi wasn't in the game at all in the first half. He was a lot better when he went across to the left wing. He was actually quite effective there, but that was only for the last 10 minutes of the game. So he still was poor, and Pulisic sort of disappeared in the game. He had moments, but he was so vague and not there. It wasn't the player that scored a hat-trick at the weekend. It's as simple as that, which was annoying and really frustrating. So, another episode of Lampard's Lounge Down. A frustrating one as a Chelsea fan. Obviously, to be knocked out of the Carabao Cup in the quarter-finals. Even more frustrating that it's Man United, but what can you do, eh? It was a fantastic goal that knocked us out in the end. It's an absolute screamer of a free kick. You can't complain too much. Focus on the Premier League for now. Yep, could be worse. We're still in the top 4. Definitely looking like we're going to be a top 4 finishing team this season. And I know Lampard will just get the ship sailing again back in the Premier League, and it'll all be fine. So I'm not that worried. It doesn't bother me too much. We'll go on. FA Cup could be ours. But I hope you have enjoyed another episode of Lampard's Lounge. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, whether you think I'm right or you think I'm wrong, or even any different thoughts on the game. It's really interesting to see. Let's try and get this to 5 likes. Support this series. It's still going strong, and you're still enjoying it, and I'm still enjoying making them, so that's always good to see. Subscribe if you are new around here, and click that notification bell. If you have come from the Chelsea fans Reddit page where I post this, then thank you very, very much for coming and supporting. Thank you guys for upvoting that, so it always does well in that Reddit page. If you are new, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. We upload every single day at 6 PM, and obviously we will do every single Chelsea game. If you are looking for that type of content, you don't want to miss out. Thank you very much for watching, and peace.